Good morning, class 12 students. Today we continue with our bio lecture of the 14th chapter, Biotechnology and its applications. As you see that we had in the last video 4 studied about genetically modified foods and about the concerns of non-genetically modified environment which is affected by the uh, the genetically modified plants and animals and which may be affected by the genetically modified environment. So we had studied about the environmental hazards it causes, about the human health risks that are involved, and the economic concerns which are there of our country. We had studied about this in the last time. Also, we studied about the genetically modified food regulation in India. We studied about genetically modified crops in India. And class 12 students, we also study about the future of genetically modified food in India, which is very, very bright because the government is now seeing the importance of genetically modified food and how it preserves so many different varieties of plants and animals which became rotten or stale very easily, but now they are preserved and they are long benefiting the human beings. And we also studied about the important applications of biotechnology in the field of health. Now today we will go into some details regarding the applications of biotechnology in our health, like antibiotics, vaccines, vitamins, etc. Let us take them one by one. Antibiotics, out of 7,000 antibiotics known, 100 are produced commercially by microbial fermentation. We see that microbial fermentation process, it helps in making almost 100 of the antibiotics. The first antibiotic, penicillin, was discovered by Alexander Fleming in 1928. He isolated it from Penicillium notatum. This was a fungus which produced the first antibiotic, Penicillium notatum. And today most antibiotics, they come from fungi, actinomycetes, which you studied about in the 4th chapter last year in class 11th, how actinomycetes produces so many antibiotics like chloromycetin, terramycin, etc. We studied last year. And also we studied that antibiotics come from certain bacteria. Among actinomycetes fungus, most productive source of antibiotics has been the genus Streptomycetes, from which over 500 antibiotics have been identified till now. Then we see that antibiotics of bacterial origin, they come from species of both Bacillus and Pseudomonas bacteria. Then another benefit from genetically modified individuals is vaccines. The term vaccine is used for any biological material into the body to stimulate the active immunity. Vaccine, whether it is put as a weak germ or it is put as a dead germ, it is basically to stimulate an active immunity inside a body to fight the foreign antigens, the foreign germs, and to kill them. Our body has got its power to create its own immunity. Then we see that vaccines, they are produced. It is most important application of biotechnology. For example, we saw COVID-19 vaccine. The deadline has been given by the government of India to the best of the vaccine makers, the scientists in India, by end of July or the end of August. But we see COVID-19 vaccine is 6 months away. This is said by the Serum Institute of India. Trials testings in collaboration are going on with the University of Oxford. This is going to produce safe and cheap vaccines. From 1950 to 1970, vaccines were developed for mumps, they were developed from poliomyelitis, for measles, for rubella, we see. But now we see that same are being produced, same epitome are produced from a single beta lymphocyte clone. This is involved in monoclonal technology. So what do we see? That now monoclonal technology is being used, which is an application, modern application of biotechnology. Now what is monoclonal technology? Monoclonal technology is made beneficial as monoclonal antibodies called MABs, small m, capital A, small b and small s, or MABs, monoclonal antibiotics. They are monovalent antibiotics which bind together, and they bind together the same epitope and are produced from single beta lymphocytic clone. This is involved in monoclonal technology. Now what is an epitope? Epitope is a part of an antigen molecule to which we see an antibody attaches itself. What is epitope, children? Epitope is a part of antigen molecule to which the antibody attaches itself. So what is an antigen? Antigen is that which produces the immunity inside a body. It can be a foreign particle or it can be an induced antigen which is sent into our body so as to trigger the immunity of our body or the WBCs of the body to fight against diseases. Then we see what are lymphocytes. The lymphocytes are part of the immune system developed from stem cells in bone marrow. We see the advent of recombinant DNA and monoclonal technologies that we studied about just now, coupled with recent advances in immunology, that means study of advancing the immunity in our body, have opened a new era in vaccine production. Second thing we see in vaccine is that the second generation vaccines are produced through genetic engineering. Vaccines have been produced for hepatitis B and for herpes virus, and even the third generation vaccines are produced for foot and mouth viruses. For feline leukemia, they have been developed, and we see that the isolated immunogens can be produced in unlimited quantities. What are immunogens? Immunogen is an antigen specifically bound by certain components, and this is the difference between an antigen and an immunogen. Immunogens, they are also certain kind of antigens. They are produced in unlimited quantities and they are specifically bound by certain components. Now we come to the third things that are produced by biotechnology. Vitamins. These are complex organic compounds present in tiny quantities in natural food, but because we need a lot of food to get that much amount of vitamin which is required in a body. It is essential for maintaining metabolic activities inside the body. For improvement of microbial fermentation technology, it's possible to obtain vitamins on a large scale, children, by use of microorganisms. Now, what are these microorganisms? They are nothing else but genetically modified organisms. Example, vitamin B2 or riboflavin now can be produced from a microbe, and this was started in 1938. This microbe was called as Ashbea gossipri. What was it called? This was known as Ashbea gossipri. And now 100 to 300 times more vitamin B2 or riboflavin vitamin can be produced with the help of this microbe, Ashbea gossipri. Then we see another vitamin, vitamin B12 is produced by Pseudomonas denitrificans strains. Which one? Vitamin B12, which can be produced by Pseudomonas denitrificans strains. And we see that carotenoids, precursor of vitamin A, can be produced by Blackeslia tripora, a fungus. Carotenoid, precursor of vitamin A. Now this can be produced by Blackeslia tripora, a fungus. Then we see that sterols, which are also called vitamin D, these can be also obtained from certain fungus. Then we see that the steroids are also produced by application of biotechnology. What are steroids? They are any of the large class of organic compounds with a characteristic molecular structure. And what the steroids contain? They contain 4 rings of carbon atoms. These steroids, they include many hormones. The steroids can be made of alkaloids, they can be made of vitamins. So these steroids are there. And how do they function? They are found in abundance in plants and animals and have important biochemical and physiological roles in the biological system. Steroids are useful as drugs. They are useful in suppressing immune responses in individuals with autoimmune diseases. What is an autoimmune disease? It is a disease in which the body's immune system attacks the healthy cells. So to stop that also, that the body's healthy cells would not be attacked by body's own immune system, we use steroids. In people who have undergone organ transplants also, there is a possibility that the body would try to reject these transplanted organs inside the body. So to stop the rejection also, steroids are utilized. Then we see the 5th application of biotechnology, which is insulin. And as soon as I say insulin, you will remember that insulin is a hormone which helps body or allows body to use sugar. And the cause of diabetes was established by Sir Edward Scheffer in 1916. The sufferers, he found, were provided insulin derived from pancreas of sheep and cattle, but these caused allergies in the users, this being a foreign substance. So this foreign insulin was not very good for many of the users, causing allergies in them. So what happened? The human insulin was synthesized using recombinant DNA technology. By making recombinant DNA technology, we developed a new kind of human insulin through the microbes. And so now this recombinant DNA technology made insulin is proper for the human beings, and it can control also the usage of sugar in the body of those having diabetes. So children, we will study more interesting things about the application of biotechnology in the next video. So till then, have a good day. Thank you.